Hello and welcome back to Game of Trades, your #1 channel for videos on the stock market and cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is selling off very aggressively here. We're seeing a lot of panic across social media. A lot of people are talking about much lower prices on Bitcoin. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're expecting on Bitcoin in the short term, longer term, and what type of developments we're looking for on the charts that could give you an edge over other traders. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so in the last video, we talked about this triangle consolidation pattern, which we said was a continuation pattern. We had price trading within this triangle here, consolidating after the large correction we had throughout the month of May here. And we also highlighted this price channel right there, capturing these reactions. That's how we got it. This breakout, backtest, very well-defined price channel here, capturing these three reactions as well. And we were watching this trendline resistance here. And as the price was actually breaking out above this triangle pattern here, this is what we highlighted in that video: the bearish trend, the price channel, and the most likely event of a tag of that channel and a rejection off that channel for one more leg down, because this was a continuation pattern with a very strong bearish trend, a well-defined resistance. Things were just pointing down in the short term, in the very short term for Bitcoin. That said, all of this remains a great buying opportunity. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, as Bitcoin was moving up, breaking out above this triangle here, you can see that small false breakout here. A lot of people on Twitter, I was on our Twitter account as this was happening, a lot of people were talking about this being a breakout. And that's why I quickly made an update on gameoftrades.net for our members, talking about the fact that price remained above major channel resistance, right? We were testing resistance, even though it looked like it was breaking out right here. You can see what happened after that, of course. We had a major sell-off on Bitcoin with that channel acting as resistance, and that remains the case. As long as price remains within this channel, we have a short-term bearish bias on Bitcoin, right? Now, we do expect this to break out very soon. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but we do think that's going to break out very soon. Now, something else we talked about in the last video, just so that you guys are on the same page here, is that even though we still have a bearish bias short term, we're within this channel, all of this remains a huge buying opportunity for Bitcoin. If you look back over the last year, we've had two huge buying opportunities for Bitcoin. One was in October, right here, where we posted this article, Bitcoin Opportunity of the Decade, on our site, where we were extremely aggressive on the Bitcoin bullish case. By the way, if you want this type of content, go and check out our website at gameoftrades.net. We've got so much content coming up, so many investment ideas, and a massive update of the site. We've been working very hard towards making our service better and giving a more clear vision of what our economic outlook is and where opportunities are in the markets. So the two big opportunities were right here in October and now. If we look back a few years from now, that will be the conclusion: these two big buying opportunities for the Bitcoin bull market. And that doesn't mean you have to time bottoms perfectly. A lot of people want to catch the exact bottom of this correction. That's not something you have to do to be profitable. All you have to do is buy at a discount. You have to keep in mind that most investors came into the crypto market at the very top during this distribution pattern as sentiment was extremely optimistic. So if you were bullish back here on Bitcoin, you should be on a buying frenzy right now, because the fundamentals behind Bitcoin have not changed. I don't care what you say about China or Elon Musk. That is all noise. We were not talking about Elon Musk or China when we had our $150,000 target for Bitcoin back in October. We were talking about the much larger implications that Bitcoin had, its impact on the financial system as it establishes itself as an asset class, as a storehold of wealth, and also as other investors, other corporations wake up to just how fundamentally disruptive Bitcoin is, especially during this period of extreme deficit spending. Let's look at the M2 money stock over the past couple of years. This parabolic move, this is debasement of currency, irresponsible monetary policies, and the new generation, thanks to the internet, thanks to freedom of information, is finally waking up to the massive scale Ponzi scheme that is the modern financial system. So to cut a long story short, we had the same $150,000 target in October that we have now, and nothing has changed fundamentally for Bitcoin. And on that positive note, make sure to smash that like button on this video as hard as you can. It really helps our videos get pushed out to a wider audience, so it is really appreciated. Now that we've made a quick recap of everything that's going on, let's take a look at the technicals on Bitcoin and where we're going in the short term. And I want to start off by showing you a very, very important chart, which is the long-term price channel we have on Bitcoin. This is the most important chart that you've probably ever seen on Bitcoin. It is just so insanely, I almost want to call it magical, because of how beautifully it works. Just look at all the reactions, starting from the bottom here, capturing this 2017 low, capturing the 2019 bottom, the COVID-19 crash bottom. Then if we go to the top of the 2017 bull market, that would have made you time the 2021 intermediate term top right here on the dot. If we had this channel before the top, which is something that we could have seen, we would have timed Bitcoin perfectly. But now we do have this channel and we intend on using it. Let's jump to a daily chart of this channel, and you can see where we currently are. We're testing this line of support right there. If we zoom out, you'll see what that corresponds to. It corresponds to reactions that we had back here in 2018 during the bear market, and Bitcoin does seem to be finding support right here. Now I want to call this a support zone because I have another trend line to add on to here that you'll find interesting. You can see if we connect the high of this 2019 rally here, the very peak of that rally, and we put a price channel trend line capturing this top, you can see we have another reaction right there. That's something I like to see when looking at reactions to determine whether this is a valid point of support and resistance. Do we have a reaction? And the answer here is a resounding yes. We had multiple daily closes and opens on that very trend line before Bitcoin eventually broke out impulsively. So you can see right here, we're right above a strong zone of support defined by this reaction right here of the 2019 rally and this reaction right here of the 2018 run. Now, I don't want this video to be too long, but if you have any doubts of this price channel, draw it up yourself. Go on a chart on a long-term, maybe even a weekly chart of Bitcoin and draw this up, and you'll see how beautifully it works. Now here, I haven't drawn it perfectly. There are some mistakes here. For example, this should look a lot more like this, capturing this high right there, capturing this low right here, capturing this period of consolidation before a large breakout, then acting as support right here, acting as support right here again, also acting as the breaking point right here before that flash crash in March. Look at this one-day drop that was triggered after the break of this trend line right there. And now you can see Bitcoin is testing this trend line here. It's tested it twice, but we could still see another drop down here to test this level of support right here. But the point is, there's a lot of support right there. A lot of people are talking about the fact that this is the nearest support level at 20K or even at 23K, and that's just not the case. This zone here is going to have a lot of demand from long-term holders, smart money coming in right here. Now, could we see a meltdown move here and test this line of support at 23K before bottoming? That can happen. Bitcoin has proved to us that anything can happen in this market. But if we take a look at on-chain analysis to paint the general fundamental picture on Bitcoin right now, it's telling us that short-term holders here that accumulated in this buying frenzy as Bitcoin was topping are now panic selling. They're in capitulation mode right here. But if we take a look at long-term holders, so the smart money and larger capital, you can see they're nowhere near capitulation. Long-term holders are holding on to their Bitcoin. And you can see that's, again, another very similar scenario to what we had right here in 2013 with the two big tops here. Right at the end of that consolidation in 2013, you had short-term holders capitulate right here, while long-term holders were holding on. So we're pretty much only left with very, very strong holders on Bitcoin that are already able to withstand a lot of volatility. Short-term investors have been shaken out, and if they haven't in this move, then they will in this final leg down. So our preferred scenario right now, I'm going to give you guys what we're thinking right now, would be one last move down here, undercut that previous low. We had a low at 30K right there on that capitulation move down. I think we're going to undercut that low and then snap back above. And if we get back to our normal chart of Bitcoin and we put up the MACD on this chart, you'll see that will set the stage up for a massive rally on Bitcoin right here. This type of move right here would be accompanied with large divergences between the price making a lower low, that's a low, that's a lower low, and the MACD making a higher low, telling us that price is going ahead of itself and that we need a counter rally. So if you're looking for an objective trade, if you're not a long-term investor and you're not just looking to buy the dip, you're actually looking for a trade, then watch this trend line right here. Once this is broken here over the next few days or couple of weeks maximum, that break is going to set the stage for a massive rally on Bitcoin all the way back to this neckline right here that acted as strong resistance. So all the way to 40K, coinciding with these levels of resistance right there. I would expect this type of move. So that's our preferred scenario. That's what we put higher odds on Bitcoin in the short term. Now, once this gets tested, that's where the real question mark is. And I think nobody really has the answer. Is Bitcoin going to break out, recover, and head back to all-time high straight away? Or are we going to get rejected on that rally and really begin to form a basing pattern right here before resuming the bull run? We're still waiting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks before shaping our opinion. Let us know what you think in the comments down below with your reasoning. It's really fascinating seeing all the different viewpoints and discussions. I strongly believe that the debate in the community makes our analysis so much stronger. So we really appreciate all your feedback. Again, if you want more analysis, more frequent updates, and more detailed analysis on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, go and check out our service at gameoftrades.net. Now, that's about all I wanted to cover in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. In the meantime, good luck on your trading and see you next time.